showtime.
SlabHub.
Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. It's Rob in front of the Great Wall of Comics, and with me, of course, up there to the north, my good friend, Chris the Comic Vet. How the hell are you, sir?
Good. I really got to edit that intro though. You got to send me that file.
Start putting in some more like Pokemon scurrying off
let,
way.
let me have some fun with
yeah,
that. I
yeah.
can see what I can do with it. But yeah,
Yeah,
how are you?
I'm great, and I have to say that I am so excited today. Um, I have. Let's just be crude for a second. I'm going to have a hard on for the next hour. It's a good thing this show doesn't go 4 hours or longer. Otherwise, I would have to seek out medical attention because our guest today, I came across him on Instagram, and his posts just arouse me in a way that no other does. And that is, I mean, and no, it's not Show and Tell Comics is not coming on. It it is this man, Jared, also known as at Spider Planet, Spider with a, let's just put the little crawl across the thing so you guys can see how you can find him. Spider
There
with a
we go.
Y_planet. And this man, when I reached out to him and asked him to come on SlabHub, he said, it sounds fun, but I have to warn you, I only do Golden Age and Atomic Age sci-fi. And as those of you who watch some of my other content know, nothing makes me giddier than opening up robot covers, ray guns, spaceships, and bubble helmets. So, Jared, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad we got some sci-fi fans here. So.
Oh my goodness, yes. So let's play Romper Room real quick. And I see Lee. Thank you,
Oh,
our
how's it
guest.
going, Lee?
Let me tell you something. So Lee and his appearance last week. For those of you who like numbers and stuff, in one week, the number of views on his episode surpasses any other previous episode of SlabHub. So Lee, I know you were
Wow.
nervous about following Man Cave, but I think you did okay. Now,
Wow.
I did also post the video to a Facebook group that I normally always do, but I haven't looked to see if that's the source. But who cares? The point being, Lee,
Wow.
solid outing. Can't wait. Lee will be. He's agreed to come on again in the future.
Mhm.
We'll see Lee again in September sometime, most likely on the show again. So that's awesome.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm still thinking about that Captain America book that was the macabre version. That was incredible.
Well,
Where
and
the
just so,
goes like over. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. And I'll go back to Lee for just a second. I don't want to sit here and like steer anybody away. The man does have a live show, a live claim sale going on today. A little bit in a short bit, I believe. So, unfortunately, I'm going to miss out the getting out of it. I probably would buy anything anyway. I'm not the right. I still have kids that got to go through college, so I'm the wrong guy. But Chop and Drop 2013, how you doing? Thank you, you and Liz Crucius, always being here. We appreciate you very much. Of course, Mark at Legion of Comics. Make sure you check out Legion of Comics, especially since right now he and DJ Lynx have teamed up. Right now through their channel membership gets you entries into a chance to win an Ultimate Fallout 4 first printing in a 9.4 CGC. They're going to be giving that away to their channel membership. You must be a channel member before the end of this month to either one of their channels or both to get extra chances to draw. Of course, the pimp for Spidey's powdered tumblers, Mr. Remy Q himself. There we go. Chris here. Where are we at? Oh, I scroll past there. War Machine, Punisher, Comics and Collectibles. Thank you for coming on out there. Jade Q. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Hopefully that'll be reflected in the polling for the Comic Book Community Awards when they eventually do that for the best collaborative effort. We hope that you'll consider us when that time comes along. Anachromic Comics, Joe. How you doing, Joe? I love you. Oh my God, Anachronic Comic Guys, check out some of that stuff. His stuff he does, not only some of the stuff with some of the community members, but also this segments on the comics that his mom let him keep and stuff. So good. Some of that great stuff there. Jason never could figure it out. It is going to be epic, that's for sure. Mad Spidey waking up super early in the morning, 4 a.m. in Australia to be here with us. My boner pants are here. There you go. Taylor Winder, the king of all nerds. Yeah, I will keep it in my pants. Don't worry, or at least below the camera. Either, and that's at least my promise there for you. Kenneth Bird, thank you again for being here.
Mr. Bird.
Yes, indeed. Stephen C. Good afternoon to you. Comic Journey. I was just over there with him real quick as he was reviewing Top Gun, the movie, the most recent movie. Very good effort there. We're happy to have Comic Journey back with us. Awesome Heroes, great part. Looking forward to being with you. Shop and Drop with Comic Journey. What is this? Holy crap! Comic Journey is alive. Yep, you missed that. He's been here for a while. Beth, how you doing? Beth, on the way to work, but stop to smash that thumbs up button. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I hope everybody else will consider hitting that thumbs up button as well.
Bonjour, Beth.
Oh my goodness, my wife is watching. So
this is your wife?
That is
Okay.
Miss SlabHub herself right there. Adrian Panda, awesome. Yes. How you doing, sir? And of course, the king of YouTube himself, the man with the most subscriptions per video, Austin LeMay. My favorite subscription I have because I can keep up with every video he posts.
Yeah. Him and Beckerman just killing it.
But Beckerman doesn't want the sub count. He's actually upset with people for having helped push his sub count up because he wanted to be just him and Burke. Austin, however, is enjoying the fact that we are getting him over 150 plus subs so far, and he doesn't put out any content. So go ahead and go check out Austin LeMay. Maybe one of my mods can drop the link to Austin LeMay's channel there just for a heck of it. And the real James Willie, thank you for coming up and joining us. All right. I think we've done playing Romper Room for now.
Bonjour, James.
I will simply say at this point, the last thing is we had to have our feature, and I don't have his stuff, so I'll make sure to do my feature shout out during halftime when we're giving away some books. So Jared's going to go ahead and we're going to get into some comics here in a second. Those of you guys watching who've never joined us before, although I think most everybody's been here before so far, at least it's commented. Halfway through, he's going to go ahead and give us a signal to stop. And we'll go ahead and be giving away, of course, our first batch of comics from the box. We'll do a hashtag comment generator. We'll pull a random name, and then you'll get your chance at least 6 different comic books from the box of comics. Has been a few new books added to it recently. And in addition to that, some of them have additional prizes written on the back of the book that you may get. Speaking of which, Les Crucius, I got information that your comic book SlabHub shirt has shipped and is on its way to me, so I'll have it out to you shortly. All right. I think that takes care of our business for this moment. Let's go ahead and put Jared to the position of honor and blow him up. Jared, welcome to the show.
Nice shirt, by the way, man. Nice shirt.
Yes, we always appreciate Metallica. So the question for you, sir, as you go to introduce yourself, if you don't mind giving people a little bit introduction to yourself. Now, you just post on YouTube, on Instagram, but tell us, how did you fall down this rabbit hole of golden age, atomic age, sci-fi? Because you, sir, look way too young to be into this niche of the comic book community.
Yeah, 80-year-old books. I was really into Silver Age and Bronze Age Spidey for a long time, and that was my thing. So I grew up in the 90s, which is like, the decade that was killing comic books, right? Publishing too many and your X-Men ones and all this stuff. And I was loving it all. 7, 8, 9-year-old kid, just really loved Spider-Man, Wolverine. These are like my favorites. And teenage years, college years, really got out of collecting. Just sort of I wasn't into it at all. Then I guess about 10 years ago, so mid-20s, I was like, hey, I want to get back into this, and it was all Spider-Man. I was like, I'm gonna, the Ditko books, I finally got the Amazing Fantasy 15, my Spider-Man one. I had all these books and upgraded a few times.
Wow.
And that was my thing. I was like, this is great. I was doing that for years. And my transition into Golden Age, so it happened 4 years ago. It's actually 4 years ago this month. It was June. I bought my first Golden Age book ever in June 2018. And it's a silly story. I was at some bookstore with my kids, and we picked out a coloring book that was every page in the coloring book was some Golden Age cover, right? Some Golden Age comic book cover. There's a coloring book. And I was like, oh, that'll be fun for the kids. It's we picked it up. And I got young kids right now. They're ages 5 to 12. And, so they're coloring, and I'm looking at one of my daughter's coloring, and it's this Planet Comics. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I'm going to go check that out. It's go Google, what's Planet Comics. I'm like, oh, these are so cool. I've always loved sci-fi movies, sci-fi TV shows, sci-fi books, stuff. This is awesome. So I went on eBay one day and, looked it up and was like, hey, there's a couple at auction, and bought my first Planet Comics 4 years ago. And that was it. Slippery slope. I went all in. I sold my Silver Age Spidey, all of it, to buy Golden Age.
Once you venture down the path, forever will the dark side dominate you.
Wow.
That's right.
So, Jared, you let go of your AF-15 as well?
I did. I let them all go.
Wow.
Wait for, of course, everyone who ever sold let it go too early, right? But yeah, let it all go. I had
Chris is a wee bit of a Spider fan, just a little bit. Both of us have been working on runs. I mean, that's the problem is I do the sci-fi, but I've also been working on my sub 100 ASM run, and he's been working on his for even longer. And so, yeah, we hear things like that too, and we go
What?
I had a 1.8. I had a 1.8 AF-15.
Still, low grade's better than no grade.
I had a 3.0 ASM1. But
yeah.
I mean, there was a lot more now than 4 years ago. But
yeah. All right.
And that's where the spider comes from in the name. I started out with I was on the CGC boards, that dinosaur website, which I still love, but and I was just spider, no planet. It was just spider with a Y. And that all came from Craven's Last Hunt, right? That story, Craven's Last Hunt, has that William Blake poem at the beginning, spider spy burning bright, and it's spelled with a Y. And I was like, I love that story. So that's my whole name with the Y came from Craven's Last Hunt. And then I got into Planet Comics and found Instagram, and I was like, well, I'm gonna keep both names.
Nice.
So.
That's still my favorite Spider-Man storyline ever written.
Great!
DeMatteis and Mike Zeck did it. It's fantastic. Yeah.
All right.
And so
I say enough foreplay. Let's get going, baby. Yeah.
I've been teasing Rob, and so Rob, I think all but two of the books I got here today have some girls on the cover. So try to
keep it under control, Rob.
Okay, so this is actually I'm starting out with Planet Comics number 11. Because not this one I upgraded, but this is the first Golden Age comic I ever bought was a Planet Comics 11. So that's
nice.
That was the first one 4 years ago. And this is just giant green alien monster with the this is the Red Comet's the hero here. Fighting it. You're trying to save the girl here. So this one's just special because that's my first Golden Age.
He's wearing a bubble helmet.
Is that a bubble helmet and a swimming trunk? That's it.
But then just undies.
Yeah, that's the great, and a cape, right? It looks like he's got a cape there too. Yep. So it's you don't need any kind of protection from anything, but you do need a bubble helmet and a cape because once you have that, you're good to go, baby.
That's how I travel to space. So
a bunch of these early Golden Age ones cracked me up because they're like, well, we gotta have oxygen. We know that, but they'll be they don't realize the space is either freezing cold or this other stuff. So the arms are exposed, the legs are exposed.
Absolute zero. That's a myth. Jared, what year was that book released?
Awesome.
What year was that book released? He was asking.
Oh yeah. So this is March of 1941.
Oh my goodness!
And does it say who the cover who the cover artist on that one
This
is?
one's actually not attributed. There's in there, so
Okay.
within the
Yeah, a lot of those. Yeah.
within like the sort of like serious Planet comic book collecting. People have debated this one. It's right around the time that Dan Zolnarewicz started doing covers, and some of it looks like him. Like this, the girl looks very Zoln down here, but not attributed. So
No, that is something that if for anybody who's never collected Golden Age books, there's a lot of books that you come across where it just isn't. You might have one name that's this so and so might have written this, or this person did the art, but all the rest of the stuff nobody knows really who wrote it or who did this, and it's like people speculate and guess based on and trying to figure out what went there and who was working where at certain times. But oftentimes it was just maybe a pool of people who was working at a shop, and so there really is no one person.
Yeah, like the Iger Eisner shop, which had great guys like Lou Fine. But like there are times where you're like, we know this one's Lou Fine. There are times you're like, it looks like it's collaboration between a few artists. There are times you just don't know. So yeah.
Taylor, Justin Birch agrees with you.
Who cares about the artist? It's the letter that counts.
So the next one. So I wanted to start with 11 just because that one's kind of special. But most of the planets, at least, a lot of what I got here today is planets. I think about half.
Oh, I'm so sad.
The next one, I'll start going in order.
Yes.
The next one is Planet Comics #1. So you got this one's published in January of 1940, and this one we know is Lou Fine. All right, so this is a Lou Fine sci-fi classic. The guys on Mars, the green skin, the pink hair. But this is what started it, and this is actually there have been some. Golden Age comics would often have like multiple stories inside, right? So there'd be like 6 or 8 different stories that just ran for a few pages in each issue. And so sometimes you'd have a sci-fi story here or there. But Planet Comics 1, this is actually the first comic book published that was exclusively sci-fi content.
Yeah.
Right. So there's some others floating around from Fox, Fiction House, a few others that would run a sci-fi story somewhere in those pages in the middle. But it's the first one that's exclusively 100% sci-fi on the inside. So
that cover is just so great.
Yeah, I mean, Planet Comics 1 is great. This is the third copy I've owned. I had a restored copy for years because that's all I could get. I was very fortunate to pick this one up in January from a great guy. He's on Instagram, he's on the boards. Anchor for those of you who know him. But great classic sci-fi book. So.
Yeah. Nobody needs pants in space, Taylor. Nobody.
Yeah, you gotta love that. Nobody thinks it's cold. I don't know. I don't get it.
It's a myth.
Well, and pressure and radiation, all those other things are all irrelevant.
No pressure, nothing to be worried about. Just as long as you have oxygen, as long as you've got something around the head. So.
Well, but then that doesn't even matter because then you get into later on, as we know, we got into some characters like Space Ranger where they didn't even have a full bubble helmet. It's just a visor, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
This is true.
Right. All right. So next one up here is another one where the artist is a bit, it's debated a little bit. But so this is the one I take my picture from, for my Instagram and for the board. I'm still getting a little glare here. I'm sorry about this. Is better. Okay.
There you go. So, look at that.
Planet Comics #2. February 1940. CGC attributes this cover to Will Eisner, and it may be. Other sources attribute it to Lou Fine, and some sources say it was both. So this was either Eisner, Fine, or both. But so in this one they're actually wearing pants. So there you go.
Yeah,
got him in a headlock though.
Even though our damsel in distress here's got a full arms and leg coverings.
You can see her bubble helmet's popped backwards though, so she's in trouble.
She's getting squeezed a little too hard.
Yeah.
But with the tentacle monster though, of course, a little. Yeah. We got to have ourselves a tentacle monster. Woo! And then of course, I love the rivets in the Planet comics, in the early Planet comics. The
title.
Just adds a little bit extra to it,
Yeah, the first 22 issues have the title with the rivets in it. And from issues 23 to 73, they went with the different They changed the title, the letterhead. But.
It's all right, everybody. Don't worry. Remy has no pants on. So
Awesome. Okay, so moving on to issue 3. So this one's Will Eisner. This one doesn't seem to be debated much. I seem to get less clear on this side, so I'll sort of move around. But
My
this one, I think,
goodness,
is March.
6.5.
Yeah, this is a March 1940, black cover.
1940.
My
Will
God.
Eisner. Yeah, this one's fun. So you can't really, I don't know if you can see it. There's actually, sort of inside, this is like a fake moon or something. And so there's like a latch opening up and there's a girl down there who's in trouble. And so there you go.
Oh yeah.
So the guy's, shooting his gun down into this hatch inside of this, like, whatever, this fake moon, fake asteroid. That's actually a ship of some kind. So, and there's a battle going on in space out behind him.
My goodness, that's an incredible grade for a black cover book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I was fortunate to get this one on Heritage, I think about 3 years ago before the prices went completely, bonkers. But an 8.5 sold on Comic Link 2 days ago. The Billy Wright pedigree went for $11,000 on this book. So
that's really
that
less than
book
I would
is
think
favorite,
almost
but-
for.
Wow. Just to put this into perspective, Germany invaded Poland only 6 months before that book came out to start the Second World War. That's incredible. My God.
Yeah. At point, I actually have a major focus. I mean, I do have, some Atomic Age stuff, and but I have a major focus on pre-World War II, pre-U.S. involvement in World War II books, right? So you get December 41, Pearl Harbor happens.
Yep.
The vast majority, maybe every book, no, not every book, all but like 3 books I think I'm going to show you today are before Pearl Harbor, right?
Wow.
These are all, 30. I got a couple from 39 in here, a lot from 40 and some 41. And one thing that's always been appealing to me is just there's so much that they tend to be so much more scarce from that time period. We have like some of the paper drives and things with World War II. Fewer books survive some of that. So here we'll go on. I'm skipping issue 4. We'll go right into number 5. This one is another one that's this one.
Joe.
CGC gives this one Eisner and Fine credit, both of them. So this is a collaboration between Eisner and Fine on this one. And I just love, this is like a swamp monster on a different planet here with like
Very
laser
cool.
vision. So it's just, I love this one. 5 is definitely up there for me in terms of some of the best covers in this series. So,
And I always love these old rocket ships that they always did too. They're cool.
Yeah, the old rocket, they're all
Johnny.
this style, like the tube. They look like submarines flying through space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very
But
much the style.
they land down on planet, no problem. They come through the atmosphere with no wings, no nothing. They can land, no problem. They can take off again, no problem with it. Because it's just rockets. It's all good.
Engineering at
Again,
its
though,
finest.
you got your helmet on, but
That's
your
right.
arms are exposed, your legs
That's
are
right.
exposed. But
I'm sure that Burke T-shirt that he's wearing. For those of you who can appreciate
yeah,
Burke,
that'll really take care of it.
I'm sure that seals right around his arms to form an
No
airtight
doubt.
seal, so he doesn't lose any oxygen. Yeah.
Well, his female companion there is always getting in the trouble.
I
Let's
know,
see if
always.
it carries on to the next issue.
What's really cool, is obviously there's a lot of the damsel in distress sort of, theme or motif, going on with these, but there are several, not the majority, but several of the Planet Comics covers do actually sort of flip the script, and you'll see the female in a strong heroine type role. I have a couple that I'm going to show, but yeah, for a lot, especially the early ones, it's damsel in distress.
Because Mars needs women.
Exactly.
Apparently.
Okay, so with that one being an Eisner Fine collaboration, I'm actually going to switch to a different title for a minute and stick with another Eisner. So here you've got this is another Fiction House title, right? So this is Fight Comics number 5, right? When was this? May of 1940. And so this is, Fiction House was publishing like 6 titles at the time. Jumbo Fight, Planet, Wings, Rangers, and Jungle. And so you've got, but fight is not always sci-fi. In fact, it's rarely sci-fi. So you got a lot of like war covers and different things. But you check this out. This is like, it looks like some like weird yellow gorilla guy. But like if you look inside, he's got like gears. He's popping his head off, and he's a robot. It's like a gorilla robot Frankenstein thing. He's all stitched together. Here, once again, the girl's in trouble there in the background. She's all tied up back there. And this guy's busting through the wall and punching the robot's head off. So, pretty sweet Eisner cover from 1940. This one's pretty tough. There's only like 12 of these on the census, I think, for the fight. 12 or 13. So
these are the things. It's for those guys who kind of watched the show in the past. Some of these things where we'll periodically pull up and talk about value on certain books. When we're getting this range here, we're not going to pop up and do that because a lot of times these books, there's so few of them out there that when they sell, it sells for what it sells for because there's more collectors than there are books, and there's no real value. It's just what did it happen to sell for last time, and that's it, right?
You get a few guys who are chomping at the bit, like they discover that book and they're like, oh man, I want one, and then they wait and they wait and they wait. You know,
and when one finally comes up,
and one finally comes up, and it can make the prices can do very unpredictable things.
Yeah, absolutely. All of a sudden, a 3.0 sells for what the last 8.5 sold for, just because that's what's available, and it's
it definitely happens. So
it's like the current housing market.
True.
No, it's still going up. That's the difference, Taylor.
It's like housing in Los Angeles.
It's still going up.
All right, so this next one's a Lou Fine. We're switching publishers now. We're going to go over to Fox Feature Syndicate here. So this is a Wonder World Comics number 8.
Nice.
Wow.
CGC calls this one a classic cover on the label. Lou Fine was doing a lot of work in Eisner's shop, right inside the Iger Eisner shop. A lot of his stuff was for Fox at this time. Later he moved to Quality Comics, the publisher. He's doing National Comics and Hit Comics. But a little earlier than that, he was working for Eisner and doing a lot of stuff for Fox, Mystery Men Comics, Wonder World Comics. And so this one, you've got like this sort of like a robot thing. It's like this, there are guys inside controlling it. You got the flame there shooting his like.
As his ray gun that shoots the flames.
Yeah. So,
and I love that these guys. So as you look so far, what I've seen, and I've seen it before too, they loved yellow and red costumes.
They really did. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I'm sure it had to do with the inks they were using or whatnot. But I mean, it was like the number of costumes that use some variants of yellow and reds. There's an awful lot of them.
Yeah, and this one takes place like here on Earth, so they don't have to worry about the bubble helmets. They're okay. But
the flame.
So that one's from December of '39. So that's
December '39. Nice. Oh my goodness.
My goodness.
All right, I'll do one more Wonder World. Those are the only two Wonder Worlds I'll have to show today. So this is Wonder World 12. Yeah, Wonder World Comics number 12. Another Lou Fine cover. Sorry for the glare there, guys, but this is like I said, another Lou Fine. This is from 40. Yeah, April of 40. And get you here. So
there we go.
Got the damsel in distress.
Look at the detail.
Here.
Look how much is going on in that cover.
The detail on the machine this green guy's trying to fire up here is just insane. And he's like blasting the city in the background. Buildings are falling down, and it looks like the flame's a little too late. The building's already fallen. So, but maybe he saves most of the city. I don't know. Or maybe he just cares about saving the girl. Forget the city. Like, not sure. but
wow,
another
incredible.
Fox Feature Syndicate there. All right, we'll do one more Fox book, and then we'll get back to some planets.
They didn't have to worry about lining up printing plates if they used yellow and overprinted magenta. Okay.
Yep. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot with magenta that's interesting for these early books. Fiction House is notorious for having the weak reds. There's a lot of faded looking fiction house covers, and so trying to find one with deep reds is like really desirable. And it's not really fading. It's not like sun fading or it's just that as you got later into the print run, as you were running low on magenta, and they were trying to minimize their expense, they didn't want to replace the ink all the time. They kept going, and so you ended up with some of these that were printed with weaker colors. But so this is another rare. This is a rare book. This is a toughie. Weird Comics #2. It's just a 1.0. I think there are 12 or 13 of these on the census, and only like 8 graded higher than 1.0. So there's like 4 of them graded this low, and then very hard to get higher. But this cover's so pulpy, right? This is like a pulp, right? Cover. Yeah. You got like the guy who's like, I don't know, is he pretending to be a mummy? He's in a sarcophagus. I really got the glare. There we go. Bad guys. The girl, I don't know what's going on, but you can like see her ribs and her insides. I don't know why, but like it's pretty sweet. Lufine cover for Fox Feature Syndicates from May of 1940. But tough book, very tough and grade. I mean, it's really hard to find this thing graded. I think a 5.0 sold a year or so ago. I think it's the 3rd highest graded, at 5.0 or something. But it's another Lufine book for Fox.
Wow.
How you doing over there, Rob? You got
Woo.
All right. Well,
is it time to start smoking yet?
Let's switch back over to some planets. So here's Planet Comics #8. This is from September of 40. All right, let's try to get it here with minimum glare. Oh, this one's great.
Oh boy.
So this one, you got like a line of robots ready to fight, and a line of like these Amazon, women going way back there. They like go stretch all the way back to the back of the book. And you got one robot and one sort of Amazon who's in trouble, in the foreground. And your hero once again, like no pants, but like the hero here with his double ray guns, letting that robot have it. So this one's super cool because this is actually a swipe. This is a cover swipe from Planet Stories #1. So Fiction House is publishing the pulps at the same time as the comics, and the first Planet Stories pulp cover is very, very similar. It's it's a painted cover because the pulps typically were painted or pastels, but this one's a swipe from the Planet Stories one.
Yeah, I've seen some of those Planet Stories covers, and they always look amazing too. Problem is, those pulps hold up worse than the comics do.
Oh, yeah, those vintage pulps. Which, by the way, is a great. If you don't follow vintage pulps, vintage _pulps, I think on Instagram, you should. David, he's a great guy, but he joked the other day like, hey, pulps, they're just comics except fatter and brittle.
Exactly. I've had a couple, and they just like, oof. They weren't meant to hold up, and we talk about how the quality of the paper and everything that these comics from this era used, that on why they hold up and why the colors, the toxic inks and everything else, why they look so great and everything else. But the pulps, the covers can look amazing, but man, those papers.
I picked up my first Planet. I picked up a copy of Planet Stories 1, the pulp, back in like November. First copy I've had. And I'm hearing CGC may start grading pulps. I don't know. We'll see. So,
nice. That would be nice to preserve some of those.
Yeah, I saw an update from Matt Nelson that they're trying to launch that. They're trying to launch that by end of year this fall. So we'll see. But that's the only copy I've had of this one. I've upgraded a bunch of my Planet comics over time, but never had a chance to upgrade that one. So that's the best I've done. I think about 3 more, and we'll be at about halfway here, Rob.
All right.
I hope that works for you. Now, this next one is one of my absolute favorite covers. I waffle all the time. Like, what's my favorite Planet Comics cover? And I'm like, one day I'm saying it's this one, the other, but this one's always in like my top 3. It is. I love it so much. This is issue 10, and here this is another. I got to get the glare gone here. So, there we go. So here we go. This is a black cover. You got the girls in the background here tied up, There's a green guy who's like on top of her. You got this queen woman of like the green aliens.
Yeah,
She's
it kind of looks like
too.
I Dream of Jeannie a little bit.
Yeah, you totally got like the totally I Dream of Jeannie. She's like pointing at like, go get the guy, and like they're shooting yellow lightning bolts out of their eye sockets.
Oh
like,
boy!
And they're wearing this little and this dude's just tossing them. He's like, yeah.
Her outfit actually reminds me. Was it the Buck Rogers show in the '70s? The women on the bad. I forget the character's name on the evil side, where she's always wearing these outfits like that to try to seduce Buck.
yeah. And this one is attributed to Dan Zolnarowicz or Zolnarowicz. I'm not sure how he pronounced his name, and but it's definitely a cover swipe of Jungle Comics 5 by Will Eisner. He drew it with gorillas. The guy's throwing gorillas out of the way. It's like the exact same composition. I prefer it with green aliens who shoot lightning bolts out of their eyes. I mean, the gorillas are cool too, but this is so Planet Comics number 10, January of 41. One of my very favorites. That's a sweet buck. All right. Next one up. All right, so this one actually just upgraded. I just picked this one up a couple months ago. I had a 4.0 before. I picked this 5.5 up on Heritage. This is Planet Comics number 13. It's in March of 41.
Oh boy!
Dan Zolnarowicz. It's just great. You got this blue alien. You know, he's got the girl, and if you look in here, he's got this crazy. He's wearing like these things on his knuckles with spikes. Like he's got, and then he's got a gun in his other hand. You know, and this weird blue gorilla just wearing a visor. I don't know. Blue gorillas just wear visors.
Her legs. I wonder how her legs are staying so straight out. She's scared stiff.
She's just really.
She's scared stiff because they would normally flop over.
And this guy here in the
bubble helmet. He's got a very weird shaped bubble helmet to reach around his stretched out neck. But
he's got a weird.
Is that Plastic Man?
And of course, his sleeves are open. You know, the air's all getting into his shirt anyway.
Yeah,
or the lack thereof. But
he's got gloves on. It's okay.
Yeah, he's got gloves. So
PPE.
Great.
He's
The
safe.
blue weird gorilla space alien, sweet Dan Zolnarowicz cover from 41. So that's pretty close to halfway.
Okay.
Here,
Okay.
Rob,
Perfect. In that case, we can go ahead and we'll add this to the stream, and we'll have everybody start to enter in hashtag bubble helmets. Go ahead and put that in there for your chance to win here on our first giveaway, our first pull here. And while we're at this pause in our moment, while you guys are typing in the hashtag bubble helmets here, also want to let you guys know, if you're thinking about having books graded, of course the worst thing is the wait times right now is if you're having them pressed there. So if you're looking for somebody to have your books pressed before you go there, the guy who does my comic book pressing is the Rogue Trader, roguetraderutah.com. If you go there and you check out and use the code FatStax, you're going to get 20% off, including the already discounted bundles. That can get you down less than $10 a book. Plus, he can also do staple repairs. He just did a staple replacement for me on a Startling Comics, so he can source and get you some stuff to get you a better grade there. Plus, through our partnership, because I'm not getting paid, no kickback for me, no free gradings for me whatsoever. We just set up a partnership that if you use this code, not only you get the discount, but every time it's used, $10 is donated to the Comics Curing Cancer campaign in partnership with the American Cancer Society. So you get your books pressed and you can help kick the butt of cancer. All right. Having said that, let's remove that. Why is that going? Why won't this go back? Go away. All right, that's back. Hashtag bubble helmets. How you doing, Chris?
Good. Along for the ride.
You just had recently hit your 700 mark, and you were getting ready to do a giveaway. We haven't hit. Did we do that 700 giveaway already?
We did. It's in the past.
Oh, all right. Well, there you are then. Tells you what I'm doing. So, anyways, you're working on your 800 giveaway now, or what?
I'm working on 800. Once I cross 750, that's way down the road.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I recently came into some more Walmart packs, so I'll be having a few more episodes of opening those fantastic Walmart packs. I really enjoy it, so I'll probably be dropping that video Monday. Tomorrow, however, I'll be dropping with Mark from Legion of Comics, two cool guys who have picks. Mark's actually already sent me his hot pick. That's how excited he is about it. So,
I heard it's a big DC week.
It's it's heavy. So I may have to go in a different direction, but we'll see. Check it out at some point tomorrow. 2 second generation comic book readers giving you what we think is the book you may want to check out. Tomorrow night, I'll be on Mark's channel for At Week's End, and I'm sure we'll be talking Obi-Wan and The Boys, and yeah. And then Wednesdays, New Comic Book Day Hangout, open invitation to anyone to come on and join and talk about the books they just picked up.
Cool. I'll let you guys know that. So tonight, if you were thinking about banter, White Shadow has reached out to me and said there's not a banter on his channel tonight. He's not feeling well. So watch your Instagram chats in case somebody else like Remy or somebody's going to step up and fill the void. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, I will have a special live that'll go on. I'll be joined by Ruben from IRF Authentics as we crack into my premium comic book art mystery box, which has original comic book pages, sketch covers, remarks, etc. supposedly in it. Will I be happy, or is Ruben going to have some live answering to do? That'll be the question, of course.
Rob being happy? We'll see. We'll see.
There's a better chance than Taylor being happy, but you know.
Rob, before we fire this up, who do you know of any of the artists that may or may not, or that might be inside that box? Then, I
did, but I'm not off the top of my head now.
Okay, all right.
But I do know that supposedly the original pages all were hero pages.
Oh, very cool.
They're not necessarily just ancillary background.
Right. They were from the big two then, like Marvel, DC.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, now we're talking.
So, anyways, all right. Let's go ahead and give
away some
our pool here. Round and round, round she goes. Where she stops. Wheel of Fish. Winner is boom, Jade Q. Congratulations there. All right, let's go ahead and remove that. And let's move me here for this. And all right, so Jared, you're going to help Jade Q with the books. You get to pick a number from the front or from the back, or we can give it some back to front action.
Or front to back.
Just grab a number.
Yeah, just any number.
All right.
Please keep it less than 15, so I don't have to count 45 books from the front. But you know.
Yeah, well, let's do 11.
11. All right, from the front or the back?
Let's 11 from the back.
All right.
I got
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I skip? Yep, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. And next.
Oh, there's another one. Okay.
There's 6 books altogether, at least.
6, great. Okay, well, let's go with 3 from the front.
3 from the front. Okay.
JQ, I hope I'm doing well here, guys.
Okay.
All right, and then 7's a good number. That's prime. Let's go from the front. Yeah.
Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Of course, 7 is now what 8 used to be because we took the third one out. But
well, I changed. Yeah.
Okay, let's go with 4 from the back.
1, 2, 3, 4. What is that? Okay. And so that's 4 books.
All right, the first one in the front.
Very first book.
First book.
Okay.
All right, and then 5 from the back.
5 from the back.
Yeah. All right, JQ, you got a mix of front and back books. I don't know.
You got nothing from the middle.
Nothing from the middle.
Nothing from the middle.
Nothing from the middle. All right.
Let's see what you got. First up, we have Wolverine Black, White, and Blood, issue number 4.
That is sexy.
Well, you get Wolverine there in the cover of probably, Mystique, recognized by the skull on the front of her forehead. Next up, we have The Infinity Gauntlet, the final battle.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Hold on, Remy.
Yeah!
That's a look. And it's got that sexy UPC. That's just fantastic.
And then we have Alien issue number 1. A nice xenomorph coming at you.
Yeah, Philip Kennedy Johnson. That's a good story.
How about Black Panther issue 32?
Oh, I know who.
And this comes with the very first to be given away Comic Vet keychain. Congratulations.
Very cool. All right.
Then we have Dr. Horrible, Best Friends Forever. If you're familiar with the great YouTube sensation Dr. Horrible sing-along blog, they had a one-shot comic book that kind of continued on after that. So there you go. Along with it, you get a Pokemon card courtesy of our friend Tyler, featured in the countdown at the beginning of this video. And you get, because I don't know these things, so Chris has to help us out.
Yep.
But it's Dewskull.
Oh, so Dewskull, yeah, Dewskull is a ghost type. That's first of 3 evolutions. Yes. Nice entry-level card.
All I know is it doesn't have a mustache.
For those that play Pokemon Go, that was the very first shiny I ever caught.
All right. Last book. How about The Incredible Hulk 310?
Oh, yes. Another sexy UPC comic book.
There you are. Congratulations, Jade Q. I don't believe I have your information, so please reach out to me via Instagram with your ship to information, or you can email me at robs.fatstax@gmail.com. All right.
First keychain. That's awesome.
Congratulations to you. For those of you who wished it was you, guess what? We have a second chance for you to win a little bit later on at the end of the show. In the interim, it's time to get back at it. And for that,
All right.
Jared, you are center stage again, my friend.
All right, cool. So the next couple here, right back into Planet Comics. Like I said, I hope you guys don't get sick of Planet Comics. So,
I won't. The rest of the audience, they can all go to hell for all I care. But I'm good to go today.
So the next two, well, it's issues 14 and 15. Planet Comics 14. This is 14. The next one's 15. Are typically, most people will argue that these are the two hardest in the run to track down. Right? These are the, for whatever reason, these are the scarcest ones, and they have the fewest numbers on the census. They tend to grade pretty low. 15 especially, it's really hard to find with decent page quality. It ends up with slightly brittle a lot. This is from 41. Yeah, September 41. Dan Zolnarowicz doing the cover here for Planet Comics number 14. Love this one. This is one of my favorites. Another one I've never had the opportunity to upgrade. I got this one about 3.5 years ago, and I'm just going to be happy with it. I'm never gonna upgrade this book. But you got them. They're in a swamp here. Right? So their big ship is crashed there in the back in the swamp. Right. And there's like some weird dinosaur back there in the swamp. It's like a Nessie type thing in the background.
Oh yes.
Oh, wrong side. I can't do the reverse image thing. And there's like these lion men creatures coming out of the swamp. They're grabbing the girl's leg.
He's giving him a mean
she's
left
definitely
hook.
Not dressed for space. I mean, like that's just. She doesn't even have a bubble helmet. I mean, she's in real trouble. High heels in a swamp, And this was great. He's got a ray gun, but he's pistol whipping the guy. He's like, forget blasting him. I'm just gonna pistol whip this lion swamp monster in the face. So this is just one of my favorites. Just love it. The swamp scene, everything about it. It's one of my faves.
Jared, who did you say is credited with that cover?
This is Dan.
Okay.
Dan the Man, Zolnarowicz. It's interesting, he's one of the few guys during this era who signed the majority of his covers. So you'll see his name.
Okay.
This corner, yeah. I mean, you won't be able to see it in the video, probably. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is for a while, the name he was going by, he took his last name and he split it into like a first and last name. So it says Zoln and then Rowich. And he was going by that. He's going by Zoln as a first name and Rowich. as the second name. But yeah, Danzel Narowich, and he did several of these here in a row in like the teens. It's like Planet Comics, like 13, through I guess through about 25. He did all of the covers. So a bunch of those Rivet issues are Dan. And then this is typically considered to be the toughest one to locate. This is Planet Comics number 15.
Oh boy.
And this one's great. In fact, if you ever go, so Stephen Fischler, right, of Comic Connector at Metropolis, he's a big Planet Comics guy. And if you guys have ever been on that website, and I'm sure you have, there are times where they'll write rather elaborate descriptions of certain issues. So if you ever go on Comic Connect and like read their description of Planet Comics 15, they really go all out and talk about this like lizard crocodile thing in this pit, right? And this guy's gonna throw this girl, and he's got some weird forked lizard tongue thing going on too. But he's more humanoid, and he's gonna pick this girl up and he's gonna throw her into the pit with this like tentacled, I don't even know what, this scaled tentacled thing down there. There's a skeleton down from someone else who got fed to it. I don't know. And the guy's coming. He's coming to save her, but don't know. Is he gonna make it? So
he's looking a little late.
Is Reef Ryan the reference? Is that like supposed to be the character's name? That's
Reef Ryan's one of the main characters. Reef Ryan, Buzz Crandall.
Such great name. There's some great sci-fi names.
Reef.
I love it. But you got like we know Stan Lee was a big fan of alliteration with his names.
Right.
You got to wonder with some of these, like, it wasn't just him. Reef Ryan and some of these others were doing it too.
It's like there's a manual out there. It says somewhere, it says how to make a comic book character. Choose an identity for him. Make sure you pick one letter and use that letter for both the first name and the last name.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to write stories and turn them out on like a weekly basis and you don't have time, right? Like, just here's a quick way to come up with names. I don't know. But so here, this is all right, we're finally getting into 1942. This is March of 42. This is issue 17. So Planet Comics number 17 here. Another fairly tough one from the run. And this one has a lot of color variation. Getting back to the magenta, it's sort of a red background, a little sort of reddish brown background. Often comes out as like a light orange. Hard to find sort of deeper color. I got sort of fortunate on this one. But here you got, this guy, this green. By the way, green was like the favorite color that everybody used for bad guys, right? Green baddies, that's the thing. So this green guy with the club and his long curly hair, but he's yanking this girl's hair, right? His hand is on, I don't know if you can see it. He's just pulling her by the hair. And she's, once again, just not dressed for space or war. I don't know what she's doing.
It's actually quite interesting that there's so many of these baddies are green, because you remember, you go back to the story of why Hulk was gray initially, and it was because they were having problems printing green or whatever. And
right. So, but another one, most of what we've seen so far, it's damsel in distress, and the hero's coming to save the day.
The one thing Jared, hold that back up for a second, Jared.
Yeah.
The one thing I can notice is you can see that they're starting to push the scantily clad woman more into the forefront, issue by issue by issue. And like they're already kind of pushing their luck there, because if you think of the times back then, like how conservative they were about women's bodies, they're very much kind of pushing their luck there.
God.
Well, you wonder why, you end up.
That's why the code came around.
The code, exactly. In fact, there's a couple, not this one, but there's a couple of the Planet Comics that are cited in the. Oh, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. But the guy who wrote the book Seduction of the Innocent, but that are quoted in there.
Yeah.
As examples of like, these women are scantily clad or they're being abused in some way, and that kind of thing. But you got to imagine 1942, and that's out there on the stand, like
for kids to buy.
Kids can go pick that up. She's basically just in a bra, So
yeah.
Jared, I got to break. I mean, I don't know if nobody else. This is make a non sequitur to most anybody else here, but I happen to have I'm running down in the corner here. I'm watching Lee's live, right? His sale at the same time as we're doing this. He just put up a Blue Bolt 105.
Oh. Love that cover.
Oh my God.
What's he asking
It's
for,
so,
Rob? I got to get off this call so I can.
it's about, he was looking for about 4,500 in a 4.0.
Oh, he's got. I think he's got that UK edition one.
That's something I don't know, but oh my goodness.
Oh,
Anyways.
Oh man, Rob, if I missed Blue Bolt 105 because of your show, I'm just kidding. That's a great LB Cole, right? Great LB Cole sci-fi cover. In this case, the girl is gray, not the baddie, right? The girl, it's like a griffin monster, and that's a great. I'm actually, and people who know me know that I actually like to talk some smack about LB Cole. I'm not the biggest LB Cole fan out there, but he's got a few sci-fi covers that are just special, and that's one of them. Blue Bolt 105 is special. So
yeah. So here, just I'm gonna, for everybody, what we're talking about here is this cover here.
Oh yeah.
She-Hulk before She-Hulk.
Totally. It's totally She-Hulk's in trouble with a griffin in space. So great book.
Sorry.
No, that kind of tangent's always allowed, right? So
Jumbo Comics, yes.
Jumbo. So we got a jumbo here. This is an early jumbo. This is from I don't understand these dates. December 39 / January 1940. So 2 months.
Well, they were usually there was quarterly books, some of them, and then there's also there's newsstand dates and release date, and what the scheduled release. So it was like a January book, but it hits the newsstands in October and basically kind of sells through there. And there's other things like that some of them do. But
so this is Jumbo Comics 11. So as we talked about earlier, Planet Comics ends up being dedicated to sci-fi content. But before that, you get some sci-fi stories in other places. So this is actually a month before Planet Comics #1. This actually runs an interior ad on the back cover for Planet Comics 1, Jungle Comics 1, Fight Comics 1, right? Because Jumbo is running before Fiction House published those others. And this cover's by Lou Fine, right? Who does the Planet Comics 1 cover. And this one's actually the Rockford pedigree in 7.5. So this is the Rockford pedigree of Jumbo Comics 11. And this guy's he's like a yellow-faced guy with a bubble helmet on.
The bad guy's wearing the bubble helmet. Good.
This time I think they're invading Earth. I think so. They got to breathe whatever they breathe. and there's spaceships coming down in the background, a whole army of these yellow guys. But that's a fun one. So Jumbo Comics 11, December 39, Rockford pedigree. So that was one of my pickups of this year. That's one of my top pickups of the first half of 2022. I was very fortunate to get that one. Okay, so this next one, everything I've shown so far has been either Fiction House or Fox Feature Syndicate as the publisher. And the next three. The next three are different publishers. And then I'm going to get back to Planet Comics because I can't help myself. But
yes, great. I like mixing it up just a little, just enough.
Just a little variety, not much, but a little variety. Right. And this one I do. So this one's from MLJ Magazines, right? MLJ is another great Golden Age publisher. They ultimately publish Archie, right? They publish Pep Comics, which starts out not Archie, but transitions into Archie.
Right.
This is a Zip Comics number 15. It's a little less of like a traditional, sci-fi. It's no ray gun or spaceship here. But sticking with the stuff I like, you're gonna have a girl here, damsel in distress sort of situation, a green bad guy. Sort of a spider web thing going on here.
She's got a Spider-Man creature there.
Spider monster, girls tangled up in the web. This guy, Steel Sterling, some more alliteration for you, right? Steel Sterling, the hero of Zip Comics.
Man of Steel.
Steel Sterling.
Dickie in the Magic Forest.
This one also features Dickie in the Magic Forest.
I think you can get arrested for that.
I mean, I'm not going to go there.
We're going to have fun with this book.
This is SlabHub. You're welcome to go there. But you got kids in the house, so I understand.
Oh, yeah, they're downstairs. It's okay.
Good. All right.
So this one features Dickie in the Magic Forest, which hopefully is not what Rob has going under the desk over there. But
he might be the Man of Steel.
A Man of Steel, yes. So only 8 of these on the census, so it's a tough book.
Wow.
This cover's by Charles Vara, and it was from 41, June of 41. So it's just mix it up a little, throw in an MLJ, a tough MLJ book from, before the war. So, all right, this next one, I don't have a high grade copy. I've got the lowest low grade copy here. It's missing a page, so I've got an incomplete copy. But this is an absolute sci-fi classic. And if you've ever gone, to superworldcomics, .com or anything, TED of Superworld Comics, this is like his book, right? This is where he gets his little like picture for his website from. He likes to put himself in this green bubble here. That's his thing. But this is Superworld Comics #1. Hugo Gernsback is the publisher. I have no idea if they ever published anything else. I've never heard of them. But this is a really fun one for me. Like I said, mine's missing a page, so I got the 0.5 incomplete here. But this is from 1940. This is a sci-fi. To me, this is an absolute sci-fi classic. The artist on this book, on this cover, was a pulp, he did a ton of sci-fi pulps. He was great. Did very few comics, but most people will know him for Marvel Comics #1. And this is Frank R. Paul.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So you got, the Human Torch coming through the wall, Marvel Comics #1. He did this sci-fi cover. He loved these. He did it in the Pulse too. These like elephant-looking aliens were one of his things. Like he's trapping this guy and he's shooting some thing out of his chest, traps this dude in a green bubble. But yeah, Superworld Comics #1, April 1940. Frank R. Paul cover.
My God.
The walkers with the webbed feet.
Yeah, the webbed feet. He's got like webbed duck feet, skinny legs, elephant head. It's certainly weird. I love it.
Never mind a platypus. Like this.
Yeah.
This is
right.
weird.
So this is a sweet sci-fi. But this one doesn't have. I make very few exceptions for comics that don't have a girl on the cover.
Right.
But this one,
It's
deserves an exception. So.
That's very sci-fi.
That's in a magazine slab.
And this one is in a magazine slab. It's got a bit of spine roll on it, enough to make it too fat for your comic holder. So this one's in a magazine slab. Superworld was already a little wide, not quite half, but a bunch of the Superworld ones you'll see are in magazine holders. Plenty in comic holders too. But that's I really hate that, to be honest. Like I hate the magazine slabs, but
Yeah, no, that kills me because I have not only do they not are the slabs not as solid and everything else, but they don't. If you're putting up a display, it's like, and all you got is comic, and all of a sudden it doesn't fit. Because like I have a Buck Rogers, from Australia that's graded a 9.6 Golden Age book, or I guess Atomic Age, depending on how you want to slice and dice it, right? But it's just absolutely impressive as all hell to have a 9.6 book from that era, but it's in a freaking magazine holder because it's a little bit bigger and everything else, and it's like, damn it, it's just kills
I just got 2 books in a magazine holder, and they drive me a little nuts, but they're books I can't live without. So
yeah, exactly. It's like, what would I do with it? Oh, I'm not gonna get rid of it. Jesus, it's a freaking 9.6 Buck Rogers from.
Right. All right, this next one is actually the only book I have in a CBCS holder, actually.
Oh.
Not that I have anything in CBCS, just worked out that way. And this is from Prize. This is Prize Comics #4. It's from Prize Publications. This is another one with no girl, so I've made an exception here for 2 books in a row. But
we got our yellow and red outfit. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Once again, yellow and red outfit.
Where is he trying to punch him though? Like, careful there.
Yeah, I mean,
in the robo nuts. You got to loosen those nuts. So that way the robot falls apart.
Dickie in the Magic Forest for this robot.
That's right, exactly.
But this is so obviously the CGC.
We've corrupted him.
Books, but there's only 6 of these on the CGC census. Obviously, this one's CBCS, but this is a tough book. This one's so it's actually on the cover. One of the books of many books on the cover of the Gerber. Books with his scarcity and his comic book almanac, but a fun one. Fire in the background, punching the robot, but tough book from 1940. Prize Comics #4.
Wow.
I think it's safe to say that most of these books are tough anyways, just not only because they're all 80 plus something years old, but even when you're talking about, this book's not as tough because there's 20 of them on the census. It's like, it's like, come on.
Let's see. So far, I don't think I've shown any books, maybe 1 or 2 that have 30 on the census, but otherwise they would be in the 20s or fewer.
Yeah.
Yep. And then one more book that's not Fiction House or Fox, and then I'll jump back into some Fiction House. This is actually a DC. I have very few DC books. This is All American Comics, right, which is where Green Lantern shows up in All American Comics number 16.
Yep.
This is pre-Green Lantern, so this is All American Comics number 8
Wow.
from November of 39, and it's the first appearance of a character called Ultraman. So they were trying to introduce this sci-fi character, Ultraman.
Not to be confused with the other Ultraman.
Yeah, not to be confused with the other Ultraman that came out many years later. Yep. So this is Gary
Japanese.
Concord, the Ultraman, and this is All American. This is DC from November of 39.
Oh
This
my
was
God.
a 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah, there's only 3 copies graded higher than this one on the census.
Look at that. Look at that loincloth. Well, whatever he's
Yeah,
wearing.
and I mean he's kind of bending
That
that
poor-
guy over
that
in
poor
the-
guy in front of him.
What's going on with the guy in front of him? Like,
Little Dickie in the Magic Forest, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. People talk about like that Alf cover.
he's like
Right.
holding the woman back, like, get out of my way. Like,
In fact, I think it was
Stand
Lee.
back.
Maybe-
Let me take over.
I wonder if it was Lee. Maybe it was Lee or somebody else gave me a hard time about this one. Like, yeah, that's like the Alf cover, but
Yeah. Welcome. Here comes the
Oh,
Ultraman.
the seal. Yeah. Jared, what's the back ad for that particular comic book? Like, what's on the back of that book?
well, what's funny is actually right now on the back I have the certificate of authenticity from the collection it came from. It came from the William Anselmo Para collection, which I guess Torpedo Comics found. So hold on, let me
Oh,
pull
yeah, some of
that. Let
those.
me pull that off.
We're claiming our own.
I'll pull that.
I've got a
off
couple books
and,
like that. Yeah,
This is just one of those sort of typical, like BB
Okay.
gun ads and
that's right.
a ton of ads just crammed in here.
Well,
3D.
you can tell that's an American comic, Chris.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, kids, guns.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick this.
Get 'em early,
Hey, kids,
man.
we'll
Get
start
'em
you
early.
young, right? Like you're reading about Ultraman and get a BB gun. So, all right. So that's All American Comics number 8.
Do you know now? I've never heard of this Ultraman. Do you know anything about him? Like how his origin or anything? Just a great book. I mean, I know
A little bit.
you can't.
I have to go back and look. I think it was something like him and his dad said some failed experiment in a lab. Something blows up. He ends up
Always,
with
yeah.
powers.
Chemicals or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't last long, right? Because by issue 16, Green Lantern comes out and he's popular and really takes over All American Comics from then on. So he's only got 3 covers. Ultraman. He's got All American 8, 11, and 15, right? All pre-Green Lantern. I have all 3. I just showed the 8 today.
Nice.
It's the best one because it has a girl on it. The other 2 don't have girls. So
Well, and Dickie in the Magic Forest.
and it's the earliest one, it's the first appearance. So
Right.
On the All American 15, actually, there's only 6 on the census, and I have the second highest graded one. But
Nice.
it's not. It's a cool cover, but it's not as cool as that cover. So I didn't show it.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I was just curious.
Um,
Not that I expect, not that I expect you to know everything about all the books, because obviously sometimes we collect books for the art or because of theme, and
yes.
we don't always have a chance to read everything about them inside. We care about other parts of it. So,
Yep, and that's certainly true of me. I've read some of mostly the Planet comics, so I have reprints. I've got a couple of the
Right.
reprints behind me. Actually, the PSR books, reprints. I have
Right.
the full run of the PSR book reprints, so it's fun to be able to go in and read. Honestly, most of the stories are pretty cheesy. There's a few.
Yes.
Some of the Hunt Bowman stories from the middle sort of the Planet Run are not maybe the worst thing, but the writing's rushed and had all those unrealistic things about at least most modern sci-fi is at least grounded somewhat in our understanding of the physics and our understanding of the universe in some way, shape, or form. And these are just the most they didn't know anything, right? They're like, oh yeah, I know there are planets out there. That's it. So I can just make up anything I want. And they're cheesy and fun, but not the best literature.
the moon still made a cheese back then, so it was okay.
All right, so how are we doing on time, Rob? I got 7 more books. We're good?
Time's not a problem. Oh, we're good.
Okay. So this is switching back to Planet because I can't help myself. Another one of the rivets here.
Nor
is,
should you.
Planet Comics number 18 from 42. Yeah.
Yeah.
May of 42. this is another damsel Narrowitch. She's tied up on some
bondage. Yep.
board. A bondage cover here. She's above the fire. This thing's going to be lowered into the fire by these green vampire. What do they call on the cover? The vampire men of something. The vampire men of Neptune. Okay, so the vampire men of Neptune have yellow bulgy eyes and wings and white hair. Are going to lower her into some fire, and this guy's still tied up. Here's the thing, right? I can't figure this out. He's still got chains on his arms. He hasn't broken. His hands are chained together, but he's going to come and punch this guy with both hands anyway. So that's a fun one. I really enjoy this one. The fire underneath, the vampire men of Neptune. So that's a fun one from 1942. And this next one seems to really be growing in popularity. I remember when I was just getting into these books 4 years ago, there's actually a few of these around, and they were not quite as pricey as some of the other Rivet issues around it. But I think it's certainly caught up. It's certainly not lagging behind at all anymore. This is issue 19, from June of 42. This is some crazy alien
Another
spy.
Yeah, actually, it looks very much like the other one almost, because it's got the same claws on the end of its feet, and
that the zip.
Yeah,
sort of had the weird claw.
The other one was a little more humanoid, but we got the same kind of claws and whatever else. These early proto Spider-Men.
So this
Reef Ryan is back.
You can see that a few other little spiders in the background by their ship that's in the background over there, and she's in trouble. She's got web on her feet. Once again, high heels in space. It's an interesting choice.
It works though.
Yeah, it's the choice of a male artist, which that's all I'll say.
So. That's why they also have plunging necklines and
that's right. So that one, I've been wanting to upgrade that one. It's 4.0, but it's been tough. All right, I got 3 more planets I'm going to show, and then a couple more Fox books here. So this is one of my higher graded planets. This is in Planet Comics number 20 from September 42. 8.0 white pages. That's hard to. It's hard to get white pages on a book from 1942, but you got your 8.0 white pages. Again, Danzel Narrowitch as the cover artist on this one. Some flying crocodile. I don't know.
Pterodactyl, whatever.
Pterodactyl monster. And again, a swamp. Apparently there's this strong belief that, other planets are going to be swampy.
Maybe these were drawn by Rob Liefeld's relatives because they need a way to hide the feet. Yeah,
hide the feet. I don't want to draw feet. They're all in the swamp. The feet are in the swamp. So, but by the way, I'm convinced that George Lucas was exposed to a bunch of these comics. We know he read some comics, but I believe Planet Comics was up there. Dagobah's a swamp. You got
the planets are all extreme. The planets in Star Wars are like extremes. Your entire planet is a desert. Your entire planet is an ice cube. Your entire planet is a swamp. Your entire planet doesn't exist. It's clouds. The
entire planet is a city. Right? There's no
right. Exactly. Right. There's no this part is this and this part is that. It's all or nothing with him.
Yeah. You actually have some little green men in part of Planet Comics that totally talk like Yoda. They structure their sentences backwards like that. Yeah, so there's a scene with a portcullis that falls down on the neck of a monster. I'm like, hey, that's the Rancor. The portcullis falls down on it. But anyway, it's so 8.0 on Planet Comics number 20. And then I love this one because this one you get a bit of the role reversal here. So no damsel in distress. This is Princess Vara. So Princess Vara, Princess Vara is a badass. So she's this Planet Comics 21, 7.5 from 1942, and she's fighting with a sword on a purple unicorn. She's their ship is on fire in the background. You got these green guys they're fighting, but Princess Vara is not in trouble. She's not tied up. She's not about to be dumped into a fire or thrown into a pit with a green tentacled monster. She's,
Right.
she's a warrior. So
Nice.
it's a fun one. Yeah. November
In a skirt.
42.
Very cool.
And then you get your last of the Rivet issues. So Planet Comics number 22 is from January 43. Again, Denzel Narowitz. He did the last several we looked at. Love this one. This is actually the one I mentioned that, like, I bought that coloring book with all the Golden Age covers for my kids. This is the one I saw my son coloring, and was like, I have to have it. So it was this one. You got this green tentacle. There's a lot of tentacles. Lots of swamps, lots of tentacles. Green tentacled monster. This woman kind of in distress for sure, but she's also got a spear. She's trying to take care of herself, and the guy's coming in to help. This guy's hair sort of always reminded me of the. You know that kid from Stranger Things who has the ridiculously huge hair. I think it's Steve or something, but anyway.
I don't watch Stranger Things.
Okay.
Sorry.
But yeah, this is another black cover. So it's 6.5.
Jeez. Now I know that was last of the Planet Comics that had the rivets, and you were wrapping up and stuff. Now, as I recall, you've completed your complete run of Planet Comics, or are you still working on the run of Planet Comics?
So I did. I completed the entire 73 issue run of Planets last summer.
And now you're working on upgrades, as
August.
I recall.
And so I am working on some upgrades, but mostly trying to upgrade those first 22, those rivet issues. And I sold a bunch of the other ones. I completed the run. I kept it together for about 7 or 8 months. And then I was like, I could use the funds to chase some other books from 1940 that I want.
He's all achievement unlocked. Now it's time to move on.
So,
I don't have to keep the band together. Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. So those first 22 for me, they're not going anywhere. Those are sort of.
I mean,
those are untouchable.
if you're gonna segment, if you're gonna go ahead and get the full run, but then sell off part of the run, it makes you go, okay, well, what part am I going to keep? That's just the perfect part to segment and go, yeah, this is where I'm going to keep this. And then
it took me over 3 years to complete the run, but I had all 22 rivets within 12 months. Like when I bought that first one 4 years ago,
he collects like I do
the rivets, and I got all 22 in a year. And I mean, it helped, right? You sell your AF-15 and your ASM 1, 2, 3, 4.
You had the funds, right? But it's like you collect like I do. It's just like you decide, like, this is what I'm going to collect. Let's just go hog wild and let's go get it quick.
I'm very myopic, right? Like the tunnel vision, and
Yes.
So and the last 2 books I've got here are actually books that once I sold off that part of the run, like issues 23 to the end. I bought a few books, obviously, but these are a couple that I got. These are another great sci-fi title that started just 1 or 2 months after Planet Comics. Didn't last nearly as long. It only went 8 issues, but it's from Fox Feature Syndicates, and it's Science Comics. And so I was able to pick up the first couple of these. So this is actually the only restored book in my collection currently. And this is Science Comics number 1 from 1940. Yeah. February 1940, and it's Lou Fine again. I just love Lou Fine. I mean, he's got obviously has a huge reputation in the hobby for a good reason. He's an amazing cover artist. This girl's on the table. I don't know what they're about to do to her. Inject something or tattoo her, maybe.
Tattoo there. Yeah.
And this guy.
We're gonna give you a tramp stamp. No, I'm here to stop. Don't do it. You don't need a unicorn.
Electro. Stan Lee stole the name. I'm just, but we got this guy's busting through the wall to save her. He shoots electricity, lightning out of his hands. You see that there. So
that guy really has a Mr. Hyde look to him.
Yeah. What's red though? Red costume.
Yeah.
You're onto something.
What's
there.
the restoration notes on this one?
This one's pretty. So this one says moderate to extensive. This is small amount of color touch, pieces added, tear seals to cover, and centerfold reinforced. So this one's got a bit of work done. For sure, but couldn't find a blue label. So
I don't have a problem with purple labels on Golden Age and Atomic Age, these
Yep.
older books, I have zero. As long as it means I'm not paying as if I'm not paying blue label price, I got
Right.
no problem with purple label. For some reason, that green label though is a different ball of wax. And I don't know why.
I wish the
But
green label didn't exist.
yeah,
Just
that's
grade
what I
it
do.
with whatever weird defect it is that's giving it green.
Right. Just grade it for what it is, which is why like CBCS does that. Because I have a couple books that I sent into them, and you get your 0.5 or whatever it is, and you get the notes as to what the issue is still on there. CGC, looking at you. You still get the notes, but at least it's a blue label, and you don't get that thing. And versus getting this. Well, if it was good, you'd get this, but. And I guess when you send in a book, you can always request, please don't give it a qualified grade. Go ahead and grade it the way it is. But
I did that
anyways.
before with books that had binder holes in it. Because sometimes they'll give the binder holes the green, and I was like, I don't want just if it's going to be like a 2.0 because of the holes, like blue, then just give me a 2.0 blue. I don't want like a 7.0 qualified because of binder holes. So
because, but the purple labels and stuff. If it's got good and restoration, the cover art is what I'm buying it for. Then I'm good with it.
There's no consistency, right? Sometimes somebody will like sign a book, but it wasn't witnessed, and so they'll give it like a green. And then there are other times they'll just like blue label Stanley written on the inside cover in pen. I'm like, what? Why? Anyway, the green label.
In theory, if it's not being hit, the grade, if it's not being considered as part of the grading, then it should get a green label. And if the writing on it is being considered as part of the grading, then it gets the blue label.
Just grade them. No exceptions.
Yeah.
All right, it's my last book, Rob.
All right, here we go. Drum roll, everybody.
It's kind of. This is ending on a personal favorite. For me, there's a lot of discussion around like what was Lou Fine's greatest cover. For me, it's this one. So this is Science Comics #2, and this is also from 1940. I think March of 1940, and this is just a sci-fi gem. She got the naked lady in the glass tube.
Strategically placed bands.
Strategically placed metal parts holding the tube. That's and then the big spaceship up here.
He's punching it.
He's punching, and he's just destroying it.
It's not really that big of a spaceship, then, I guess, if he's big enough to punch it.
Yeah, I believe he had that ability to like change his size, almost like your Ant-Man, Giant Man thing.
Okay.
And
along with everybody in the foreground with him.
Yeah, you can see little guys down there by his feet.
Little people down there, but yet in the foreground here, they're also big. So it must be like some kind of like, I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah.
Don't think about it. Just enjoy.
Science
Comics #2, and girl in the glass tube, spaceship being punched by this dude.
Beautiful.
So, and that's Lou Fine cover for Fox Features Syndicate, March of 1940. One of my personal favorite covers in all of comics.
I don't blame you there. That's a pretty good book cover, I would say, without a doubt. No, I think proper job.
Wow.
Indeed.
That's what I got, Rob.
Wow. Well, Jared, thank you for bringing that on. I enjoyed myself immensely going down this trip here, and I can't thank you enough for coming on. Kenneth, saying thank you so much for bringing on books, such great, awesome. Oh yeah, look at where to go? It just jumped on me. Looking like Lilu. Yeah, absolutely. The strategic place bands, whatnot. Exactly. Yes, and I'm spent. Great, awesome books. All right, cool. Jared, I hope that you might consider down the road coming on again and joining us again if you enjoyed yourself. If not, say nothing, and we'll just pretend that you had a great time. And
I did have a great time. This was awesome. Enjoyed coming on. Enjoyed chatting with you guys about some of those books. It was fun.
All right, let's give away some more books, shall we? So if you guys won't mind, go ahead and give us that hashtag Planet Comics, and we'll go ahead and give away some more books here. let you guys know while we're getting you guys do that. Coming up also, I already talked about tomorrow's thing. Next week on SlabHub, if you want to make sure you join us, we're going to have the Sultan of Slabs will be joining us next week. He'll be bringing on some pretty, based on his Instagram, some pretty nice looking books that he's got there in the PC that we'll be happy to see. And then following him will be Bill from Comic Mag Musings. He'll be joining us. So we got some fun stuff as we continue our hot comic book summer. And of course, as always, if you'd like to be a guest on SlabHub, don't remember, it's not about who's got the most crazy far out there collection. We just happen to be going in a run of some pretty impressive books, but it's about the stories that go with the book. So if you're a collector and you've got some slab comics and you'd like to be a guest on SlabHub, please reach out to me either on Instagram or via email, robs.fatstax@gmail.com. We get you scheduled. We're currently booking for August and September of 2022. And then, of course, coming up also this week or next week, upcoming videos, let you guys know, for the first time in over a year, I sent some books to PGX to see what's going on, try out the PGX East, which is different than the PGX West. We'll talk about that, and you guys can see how that's coming. That's coming up in an upcoming video, as well as sitting off here to my side. There's a stack of books from CBCS. There's a submission to open up that's coming up as well. Whew. All right, let's take a look here. We have 21 comments out of 26. Of course, as always, guys, winners, U.S. and Canada shipping is included. If you're outside of that area, we just pay the difference, and we'll talk about that. All right, let's go ahead and spin this for us. Wheel of Fish. You know, we say it again, just because. Jade Q back to back. All right, I only have one. I got one shipping to do today. All right. So, Chris, this time it's going to be you. Let's put, thank you for helping.
Rob, if I cut out, it's because my phone's about to die, not because.
No worries.
Okay.
Thank you.
Warning.
We'll know that he doesn't hate you yet.
That's right.
All right, Chris, what are we going to do here?
Oh, I noticed that Comic Journey's been hanging out. In honor of Comic Journey returning, we're going to do everything back to front. Why? Because I'm a son of a bitch. Back to the front. Back to the front. I'll say it one more time. Back to front. Now.
Okay. Front or back? Or both?
Both. Back to front.
It only makes sense because with Jade Q got front and back books, so now he needs to get some middle books.
We'll get some middle ones for Jade Q. And now, both of those, Robert, please.
Okay.
And just to say this, back to front. Now.
Okay. All right. First up, we have Batman 505.
Oh,
Azrael's Batman.
Very nice. Sexy UPC.
We have a Virgin variant. This was a C2E2 comic mint, I believe it was. Venom #1.
Very cool.
Of the current Venom run.
Right, of the Dylan Brock saga.
Dylan Brock, right.
Yep.
Here we go. Another comic vet keychain for you, Jade Q.
Yeah.
X-Men number 70, Ultimate X-Men, I'm sorry. Issue 75. That comic vet keychain. You're going to be able to put multiple keys on keychains.
One for your car, one for your house.
How about a Marvel 2-in-1? The Thing and Mr. Fantastic.
Very good. It's just like one half of the Fantastic Four.
Just like. How about another comic vet keychain? Wild Sliders. J. Scott Campbell's Wild Sliders. Issue number 1, it looks like. Or 7. I don't know. It's either a number 1 or a number 7.
I think I
think it's a
sent you
1.
3 keychains.
I think it's a 1. There you go. Comic Vic keychain. Congratulations. No, I think there's a couple more because there's a couple more keychains here in the drawer. And last up, Deadpool, Agent of Weapon X.
Yeah, I think I tossed that book in there too. That's awesome. That's a
Congratulations, Jade Q, the winner of many, many comic books today. All right, guys, again, everybody in chat who showed up, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate you coming on out. Jared, again, thank you, sir, for sharing with us that collection and making me feel completely inadequate. And I'm going to go curl up in the ball and cry.
Well, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Appreciate that very much. All right, guys, until next time, make sure you collect what you want. Don't listen to any of us, especially me, because I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching.